Top of it, top of it, top of it. It's your boy Coach One Stack, man. We tapping in. Hey, man, we being our best, man. I hope everybody's having a beautiful morning. Man, it's beautiful out here in Las Vegas, man. It is approximately like 4 a.m. I just want to leave y'all some videos with some news you can use about your boy Diddy and just catch you guys up on some things, just put you up on game with what's really going on. Now, a lot of you guys, man, a lot of new subscribers, man, I really welcome you guys. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate that part, right? Just a little morning coffee. But, I get a lot of questions in my inboxes, in the DMs, and the comments like, how do you know? And how do you know this and that? Well, the thing is, first of all, I'm 47 years old. A lot of this stuff, when dealing with Usher, when his mother, signed over custody of him and the Tupac thing, man, I was alive in the 90s. I used to keep up with this stuff. I was out that night when Tupac got deleted. I went to that fight. You dig? I used to go to Club 662, which was the club that Tupac was on his way to when he got deleted. So I kind of go way back. I look at this social media thing and I look at a lot of you youngsters, 20 years old, 25 years old, and no knock against you, but a lot of you guys got bad information because y'all talk about stories that happened when I was a kid or when I was younger than you that I lived through, and they just aren't correct, like they're totally wrong. So we're going to start off today, man, and I'm going to give y'all a little background on, the Usher and Diddy situation of how they got entangled in the beginning and, just some leading up to now. So you got to know, man, Usher came out in the 90s, right? He came out in the 90s. And at that time, man, Diddy was thriving, with Bad Boy. He had Craig Mack. He had Notorious B.I.G., and that's when he started that whole Diddy Camp thing. But you guys got to understand, this was pre-internet days. People didn't know. We didn't have the internet back then when this stuff was taking place. So either you had to be able to read, do your own research, or pay attention to the signs, man, because they always still had newspapers at the end of the day. They still had magazines, and all this internet gossip had not taken place yet. So, this is back in the day, man. Usher's mom, when he was 13 years old, signed over her parental guardianship to Diddy. She signed it over to Diddy so that he could show Usher the entertainment life. So he could basically groom him to be an entertainer, because he was a little kid at the time, man. Usher is like my age or maybe a year younger. He's been in this game for a long time. So, but they didn't call it Diddy Camp back then. He just went with Diddy. So, as you see in some of the videos, Usher even tells you, hey, guys, I went to Diddy Camp to learn about the business. Now, you'll see in later videos, which we used to see this stuff on MTV, Yo MTV Raps or BET or, stuff like that, because there wasn't no internet. We saw these interviews back in the day where Diddy, admits he's sitting there doing an interview with Usher and telling the world, oh yeah, we be sleeping in the same bed and, we wake up and we be fighting over the cereal. Then he stops talking because he doing some out of pocket stuff. See, but this is before Diddy had all that money. He didn't have mansions in California. He didn't have mansions in Florida. He was just a New York guy, pretty local guy at that time. That's for good coffee, man. And this is before the Shine John days and all that. This is way back when he still used to wear Versace shirts. Now, a lot of you youngsters don't even know what a Versace shirt is, you did? But, it came out in the newspapers, in the New York Times. It came out in the entertainment world that Usher, while in Diddy's care and custody in New York, had to be rushed to the hospital, when he was 14 years old. Now, he was rushed to the hospital because something happened to him back there. Something happened to him back there. And he also obtained herpes at age 14, okay? So the thing is, you want to ask yourself, how would Usher, at age 14, in the care of Diddy, have to get rushed to the hospital with injuries back there, right? And he also caught herpes, STD. I don't know. Inquiring moms want to know. But if you're only in the care and custody of one person, hey man, it's only obviously that person's the one who did it. See, what a lot of you youngsters got to understand is, man, back in them days, man, the rainbow community thing wasn't very prevalent. It wasn't popular. People used to try to hide all that kind of stuff. It wasn't out in the open. Even though in the video Big Papa, the main character was a transgendered woman who was actually in the video using the men's bathroom standing up, and then was talking to, I believe it was Andre 3000 at the bar, and everybody's trying to get at her. So, they do a lot of suggestive things in these videos, even way back when, But the thing you have to ask yourself is, who did this to Diddy? Now back to Usher. Now, during that time, man, Usher had his first album, man. That album was a banger, by the way. That album was a banger. And you never heard from Usher for quite some time. And see, this is where the story gets a little creepy. See, you have a syndrome called Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome. That's when you basically fall in love with the person that are doing bad things to you. And so an example of Stockholm syndrome would be, how Diddy did a lot of these things to Usher. And you have to remember, guys, this. Diddy was Usher's first sexual experience, hands down. So even with the Stockholm syndrome, where you fall in love with your accuser, you have to realize, when you have your first encounter, sexual encounter or whatever encounter with that may be, it's your first. You never forget your first. So even though that was his first sexual encounter with Diddy, yeah, it may have hurt. Maybe he did not like it. Maybe he didn't feel good. Well, over time, things start to feel good for you, You tend to, it's no different than having regular sex, guys. You might have your first encounter here, but you keep doing it, and now you find yourself in love with just an average chick or a big old fat girl that you wouldn't even be held in public, that you wouldn't be seen in public with, but she make that little thing tingle in between your legs, and you fall in love. This is the same thing that's happened with Usher and Diddy. Now, guys, if you do your research and you listen to Gene Deal, if you do your research and you listen to Gene Deal, he will tell you, he had not seen Usher since the 90s. And then maybe about 10 years had passed, and all of a sudden in the early 2000s, he says that, Gene Deal will tell you that he was in a hotel suite in Atlanta. Usher lives in Atlanta, right? Of course, born and raised. He was in a hotel suite with Diddy. And so Diddy was in the room with Kim Porter, but also on the couch in that suite was one of Keith Sweat's baby mamas. Now, Keith Sweat baby mama, that's going to be real pertinent to this whole story here in a minute, because I want you guys to know something, that, of course, Keith Sweat baby mama is a lot older than Usher, okay? Keep that in mind. So Gene Deal goes on to say how it was the morning time. Diddy came out of the room with Kim. He had been in the room with Kim. He came over to Keith Sweat baby mom, who's sitting on the couch with nothing but a robe on. Opens up his robe. He said he receives fellatio from Keith Sweat baby mom, and then he goes back to the room. So now there's a knock at the door. There's a knock at the hotel room door. Knock at the hotel room door. He knocks at the door. He goes, gets the door, and Usher's at the door. Of course you know who Usher is, man. He been around Usher since Usher was a kid. Gene Deal was Diddy's security when Usher had to be rushed to the hospital for something that happened to him back there and him catching herpes. Herpes plays a big part in all this Diddy stuff, man. Diddy has herpes. A lot of these guys have herpes. You have not heard the talk of finding one condom through all of these adventures, even with all the baby oil. You have not heard the talk of one condom. But now back to the Usher story. Back to the Usher story, guys. So Usher comes to the hotel room and Usher asks, where Diddy at? Now, with that alone, it's catching Gene Deal, off guard because, man, last time he saw Usher was at the hospital and Usher's mom was raging. She was just hot, because of what this man had did to her son. So he couldn't believe that Usher was coming back asking for Diddy, and hanging around him in that nature. So, Gene Deal let him in the room and he said, yeah, Usher's in the room with Kim. So now Usher asked Gene Deal about Keith Sweat baby mom, where's she at? He said, oh, that's her. She's sitting on the couch over there. He said, but man, it's crazy because, Puff, she just performed fellatio on Puff Daddy, right? Because see, for y'all youngsters, that's what he came out and they called him Puff Daddy. Then it was Diddy, then it was all this daddy and all that stuff, but they used to call him Puff Daddy at first, or Puff. So Usher goes over to Keith Sweat baby's mom. They have a small conversation. He kisses her in the mouth. Now, Gene Deal, at this point, man, he kissed her in the mouth. Now, Gene Deal, at this point, is like, oh, what's going on, man? I just told you that she just performed, fellatio on Puff, and you kissing her in the mouth. Well, guys, like I said, you fall in love with your accuser. And in Usher's case, hey, man, not only did he fall in love, but he used to go procure, that means go get women, for Diddy for those sexual adventures. And we'll get into Justin Bieber in a whole nother video, guys, because I got time, man, to drop y'all the news you can use. So he proceeded to tongue kiss the woman in the mouth after she gave, after knowing that she just gave Puff some fellatio and grabbed her, and they went on about their way. Okay? So now, over the years, you still see Usher hanging out with P. Diddy, to the point to where Justin Bieber comes onto the scene and he is, he's mesmerized by Usher. Usher is his idol. So of course, if Usher is his idol, see now with all that pedophilia, it comes levels to where, when your victim who falls in love with you, they start to go out and get victims and they groom them for you. Because guys, they know what you like. See, they know what you're looking for. They know what you like. It's like almost like a prostitute and somebody with the pimping, and he got a prostitute. His prostitute goes out and recruits other ones because she knows how to break that P's program down to these new prostitutes coming in. So it's the same thing with Usher. Usher knew how to break down Diddy's program to Justin Bieber and other new recruits. So by the time they got to Diddy, they could be nice and primed and everything could be just right. And Diddy could do his thing, man. And in the case of Justin Bieber, that's what happened. You guys see it, right? You guys definitely saw that. So now, over the years, man, Usher have never stopped hanging out with Diddy. He even bigs him up. But on that one famous interview, he was asked, hey, would you let your son go to Diddy camp? And Usher was like, no. Well, thing is, if there's nothing wrong with Diddy camp, Usher, and you went, what's good for you is what's good for your son, right? But if nothing happened to you and you don't have a problem with Puff, why wouldn't you let him go to Diddy camp? Inquirer minds want to know. Well, that's just his subtle way of letting you know that something happened. But in the public side, he's always, bigging Diddy up. Now, why is that, guys? Just use your imagination. Matter of fact, don't use your imagination. Just use the facts that you have in front of you. Diddy has some tapes of him and Usher. That Diddy has tapes of him, Usher, Justin Bieber, and other celebrities, man. I'll get into them in a whole nother video. But he has this evidence. See, and when you're a man, I'm sorry, but you don't want to let other men to know that you've been taken advantage of in that type of way. You're not even comfortable telling other men that you've been down that road, especially you a young teenager, young 20-something person, And then the way that they overcompensate by going through that is trying to become extra hard and trying to get real hard. And they normally go get a woman that's older than them. Hence with Usher. Usher, every woman that he has is older than him. Even when he's with Chili from TLC, they're older than him. Then they start getting all the tattoos. They start trying to be extra hard, like Meek Mill, like Freak Mill. They want to be so street. They want to be so hard, just like Ray J. Am I dropping gems for y'all, man? Am I really dropping gems for y'all? Just like your boy Ray J, who used to have the all-male parties out here in Las Vegas. Can you dig? Man, I got game for days, man. And the truth, hey, man, shame the devil. Man, look, man, we gonna tell the truth and shame the devil all day long, man. Because we got receipts for this stuff. But yeah, so now Diddy is grooming Justin. Now, if you guys ain't never seen, if you don't know what a victim is, all you have to do is pull up a video with Justin Bieber and Diddy, and you will see a victim. When you see those videos, man, Justin Bieber is so afraid of Diddy and so uncomfortable of Diddy, and Diddy be kind of like punking these people on video, like, so I ain't heard from you in a little while. What would a 40-some-year-old man be trying to hang out with a teenager or a young 20-year-old man for so bad to where he on camera pressing these people? I don't know. You make your own inferences. You guys aren't crazy, you dig? But the thing is, man, Stockholm syndrome. Even it got to the point where Justin Bieber learned to like this lifestyle. You guys saw the video with Justin Bieber sitting in the club with Trey Songz, Odell Beckham Jr., and they're wearing the white hoodies. The white hoodies, man, in those clubs is just a signal of, that means you with the function, wearing the white hoodies. You guys seen him leaning down, giving Odell Beckham Jr. fellatio in the club, and he got up and wiped his mouth while Trey Songz was watching, so it lets you know that Trey Songz is with this type of activity. The list goes on, guys. But, I'll keep telling y'all, man, I will always interject this part into the conversation. Who did it to Diddy? Because this is a learned behavior, right? And I got many, many, many more of these videos coming along, man. You can bet that. But as we stand, man, Puff just got hit with 120 more charges yesterday. You dig? Some of them were against minors as young as 9 years old, which that's a whole nother video. A nine-year-old did. Can you dig? So, yeah. And to this day, man, we still hadn't seen Usher come out the woodworks and defend his friend Diddy, his daddy, Diddy, But, only time will tell, guys. So, hey, man, this is the first of many, many videos, man. Thanks for coming to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm dropping these videos, because I'm dropping a whole lot of shorts and I'm dropping a whole lot of real game. So y'all not out here looking lame. You dig what I'm saying? And I like to drop these facts. Now, in order to do that, all you need to know how to do is learn how to read indictment, know a little bit about the law like I do. Obviously, you should be able to see that part. And anybody that knows a little bit about the law, man, this stuff is not hard to decipher, because when the feds come get you, they got you, and it ain't no going back. But that's a whole nother video. But yeah, I just want you guys to know what Stockholm syndrome is. When you start to fall in love with your accuser, with the person who groped you, with the person who groomed you. You start to identify with them and actually feel sorry for them for doing these things to you. Now, you guys have a blessed day, and you got more videos to come, man. Thanks for stopping by the channel.